Life Audio.
Today on Talk About That, John puts himself on the literal hot seat and buys a Cadillac made of gold. Meanwhile, I tell you about the dancing plague of the 16th century and the strange reason ketchup was invented. Plus a conversation about the difference between healthy confidence and a self-destructive ego. Today's episode is not sponsored by Biscuits and Gravy when you want some really wet flour on top of your really dry flour. But first, a word from our actual sponsor.
Johnny, it's another episode of Talk About That. Your friends just living life right alongside you. Except,
well, I mean, we're in a room.
We're in your ears, and
we're in a room.
We're not in your house right now.
Possibly hundreds of miles away from you.
Yeah, you're hearing our voices, but don't be alarmed.
When did churches start doing that whole like, let's do life together?
Yeah,
the whole life group model of.
It's hard not to say it.
It is hard not to say
yeah.
it. Like we ruined so many phrases, but it's like there's only so many ways to say certain things.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's do life together.
I don't mind saying it, even though I know people make fun of it. But I'm like, yeah, but what else are we going to say?
Live life together. Do life together. Don't say that if you have a prison ministry. Let me say that.
Let me tell you.
That's a whole other. There used to be a comedian that had a bit about that. When I was a kid, I remember hearing it. Some of these things stick out in my head, of course, because jokes are very important to me. But he said something about like, when somebody gets life in prison, like, how do you keep them in line after that? Like, if they do something else, you're like, you're never, ever getting out.
Right.
It's like the policeman with the billy clubs in England. Mm-hmm. Halt! Or I shall yell halt again.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you?
They still don't carry guns in England.
I don't know what they do. I don't have a...
I mean, I watch a lot of British television.
The what is that, a bobby? What are they're called bobbies, but what do they have? Is that a bobby?
Billy club?
Billy club? Is it a bobby pin? What is that?
It's a bobby club?
Bobby pin is for your hair.
Yeah.
We're not educated.
No.
You are.
No.
Well, I see the books.
You have
very many books.
This is really more about my hoarding.
That just says you got a lot of money to buy books.
This says that I hoard things, is what this says.
It's okay.
I hoard knowledge. Doesn't mean I partake of it. Come on now.
Some of y'all out
here,
you got the knowledge. Well, that's true of modern culture.
There might be a little dust on the Bible. But did you remember that? Remember the old song, might be a little dust on the bottle? Remember that country song?
No, Dust on the Bottle?
Yeah, it's one of my wife's favorite from like the 90s.
Okay.
But, one of those things that gets sweeter with time, and it's talking about your relationship, going.
Oh, I see.
Doesn't matter what's on the outside. So, of course, it got redone.
That's like the bones are good. If the house won't fall if the bones are good.
Come on now. But somebody, of course, in the Christian world redid that. There might be a little dust on the Bible.
Oh, okay.
But it doesn't mean I think it gets sweeter with time. I don't know what else they did with all the lyrics.
Yeah, because it's all about booze.
Well, but not to them.
No.
Yeah, they baptized it. They baptized that song into a Christian song.
Okay. And I say let them.
There was another country song that got baptized into a Christian song. What was it? I can't think. It's had to come to me. It'll come.
What is your favorite era of, like, people, because I have a bit about how the 70s were the best because the singers were ugly and we didn't care.
Yeah.
And that's really just a joke, but people will get in the comments and defend like the 90s as like the golden age of it. And I think it kind of was, right? Didn't you have that's like the big burst of country?
It was. Because I was dating.
90s country went mainstream, really.
I was dating in the 90s.
Yeah.
So this was a great time to be on a date and have these songs, because they had all these great songs.
Oh, you had Garth Brooks' The Dance.
Yes, The Dance was big.
You had I Hope You Dance. A lot of dancing.
There was and I didn't dance a lot.
Did I ever tell you that I was at a show, it was a two-man show with Leanne Morgan, and she had me jump on the show. This is before she really blew up. She was doing like a one-nighter at Zany's, and she graciously had me on her show, and I just did like 20 minutes or whatever. And, now I'm going to forget the name. Leanne Womack.
Yeah.
Was in the crowd.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't know who, I didn't put the name, I knew it was a country artist, but I just didn't grow up around country. And so Leanne goes, she's in the crowd, and then she came back to say hello, and she really loved my set, which was so nice. Wow. And then Leanne goes, I wrote you dance, I Hope You Dance. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And I was like, even I know that one.
Yeah.
It's a great song.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, I always hated the 70s country stuff.
Yeah.
And I say this in honor of our late friend, Weston Gray, who we were talking about today. And he loved like the George Jones.
Well, and the Outlaws, like he liked that renegade.
Yeah. Merle Haggard, George Jones, Willie Nelson.
Tearing your beer. I got a problem with authority.
Yeah. And I hated all that stuff because I never thought that the singing was that good. Mm-hmm. And then we were in Gulf Shores the other day, and we went to try to get some food one night, and we ended up at this bar place, and it did not work out. Yeah. They were like, you know what, just find a place to sit and come tell somebody when you're ready to order. It's like, okay, no, because we had kids with us and stuff. But there was a band playing, and they were doing a George Jones song.
Yeah.
And it was, I think it's George Jones. I'm tired of pretending I don't love you anymore.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You know that song.
No.
Tired of pretending I don't love you anymore. You know, remember that?
Sure,
yeah. You've heard if you get that tag.
That's mine and Curry's song.
Yeah.
We had that.
Yeah, I'm tired. Yeah. And I was like, I found myself going, God, that's a really good song.
Yeah.
And then last night we were watching TV and there was a Willie Nelson song.
Yeah.
What was it?
On the Road Again.
No. Whatever it was, I thought, you know what, I kind of like the way he's singing. And I'm having this weird, I told Lars, like, what is happening?
Getting older.
Like, I don't want to start liking Willie Nelson and George Jones. Johnny, late. I'm not going to do it. I don't even listen to country at all.
It's too late.
We were in a rock band. We were rockers.
Speaking, not to get political, but I do think this is interesting because in the 90s, they did one of these tribute albums to Leonard Skinner, mm-hmm. right? And who was this, Southern rock band, speaking of kind of like anti-authoritarian and just kind of like true Southern roots rock. And and these country artists from the 90s did cover songs of Leonard Skinner tunes. And so they, it's interesting, whenever you do a tribute album like that, everybody kind of divvies up what they want to do.
Right.
Like everybody wants Free Bird. Everybody wants to do like Sweet Home Alabama. Yeah. So then you kind of get down the list. And I remember there was a review of it in a magazine that I read, it was like Billboard or something. And it stood out to me. I still remember it. And the review was talking about Travis Tritt, like there was a paragraph about Travis Tritt doing, what's the one? It's about the Mr. Saturday Night Special.
Yeah.
It's about guns ain't good for nothing but killing. It was a gun control song.
Interesting.
By a Southern band in the 70s.
Wow.
In the South.
Yeah.
And it's basically very like, you think you're so big because you're carrying this gun. That's the whole attitude of the song.
Yeah.
Like, this ain't good for nothing but putting a man 6 feet in a hole. And it's just, so it talks about how like, it's just a very like strong anti-gun stance basically, or or at least pro-control.
Yeah.
Pro like statutes.
Right.
And so it was interesting, but the review basically said, it's interesting now that you could write a song in the 70s as a Southern band about gun control, and now it feels brave just to sing it. Because he was kind of allowed it for like, they put this on there. It's interesting.
Yeah.
And I do think like it's interesting how like our culture shifts.
Right.
It feels, how Travis, like it made news,
Yeah.
He chose that song. Interesting. Because we've shifted so much.
And I think that's where I get most offended sometimes whenever things are shifting and people, I'm a big proponent of being willing to change the way you think, right? So I'm not saying if you find better information, it may be time for you to change your opinion or grow there. But when it's a value, mm-hmm. right, that you've stood behind, and now you stood behind it with, say, a Ronald Reagan, right? This was a big value for you. And now that value means nothing, but you're still flying the same flag that you flew under Ronald Reagan. Then I get really, and maybe it's the history part of me. I'm just like, no, that's like, we can't go, if you're going to do that, you have to make an acknowledgement that you've changed your values. But you can't say, I still have the same values, but I do things differently now than I did then. The things that wouldn't be allowed then, now I embrace, yet I still say they're the same values. And I just go, well, you either have to not embrace them or stop claiming the values haven't changed. So, we can learn George Jones.
What I guess is we can learn a lot from Leonard Skinner and George Jones.
I tell you,
he stopped loving her today. Wasn't that George Jones?
Yeah.
And
someone's going to be screaming at because guys, seriously, I don't like this music generally.
No, it's too late.
So
you're in, buddy.
Maybe I'm tired of pretending I don't love you anymore. Is not George Jones.
Tired of pretending another George Jones song? No, I don't know.
I mean,
There was a story, I think.
Oh, Willie Nelson was always on my mind.
Oh, yeah.
That was on last night.
Yeah.
And I thought his vocals are not bad.
There's like an interesting thing when you have like a voice like his, or like there's like old Springsteen songs where he's singing like a gruff, mine worker or whatever, and you're like, well, this fits. Like it's got this vibe to it, and you're like, this is straight up.
Why couldn't I ever find a way as a musician to try to write the music that fit my bad voice? You know what I'm saying?
John,
that was the problem.
Don't have a bad voice,
Johnny.
Hey,
I've heard it.
Why don't you take it easy on my buddy John? He's a good dude.
Yeah, but he's a bad singer, and he's okay with that. Listen, I'm not a bad harmony singer.
No.
If I can blend, some of us, Johnny, are made to be in the second chair, and that's cool. I like the second chair.
Of the Philharmonic Orchestra.
Second chair John, that's what they call me. It's
the sad thing is we only have one chair. So
you're going to have to leave, sir. I do a lot of standing.
By the way, you have this weird beaded thing on the back of your chair. Speaking of getting older.
Yeah.
This feels like something you would see in like Nana's house.
Do you want to know what this is about?
It's about back pain, probably.
It's not.
Oh.
It's not about back pain. It's about these chairs have memory foam.
Okay.
Which I'm sure you can tell, even though you didn't even notice when I bought you the new chair. Okay. But these chairs have memory foam.
Right.
And when I sit here and work for hours, they get really hot.
Okay.
So this is to put distance between me and the foam.
Distance between you and your memories.
Come on now. Some of y'all
out here, you chairs know what happened.
I know it may look, listen, I don't have any pride.
Okay.
I have a lot of pride, but none about stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, if this keeps me from sweating in my chair so I can work longer.
It feels like it's a massagey.
It doesn't feel bad.
Beads on the back of it.
I don't have a lot of back pain. That's the good news.
Well, don't jinx it.
So I know. I don't.
Oh, speaking of country music, I've got a special announcement. It's been made on my socials, but we can talk about it when we come back, because in radio we call this a tease.
It's a tease. It's a big tease, and it's going to be worth the wait.
But let's take a minute and hear first from a few of our fine quality sponsors.
Guys, this is what Johnny's going to tell you.
Oh boy,
it's pretty big.
Well, come on. I think it's Nashville big. It's like if you're a Nashville artist, or I grew up in Tennessee.
Yeah.
As did you. So, like, and I didn't really grow up around country music, as we said. But when I moved here in 2006, I started becoming more aware of like the history of the Ryman and the history of the Opry and all that stuff. And then I took the Opry tour and took the Ryman tour, and then you watch Walk the Line.
Yeah.
It's just, you get it. It gets in you. You're like, there is something special about that place and that circle. So I've kind of been kind of kicking bricks on trying to get to play on the Grand Ole Opry for a while. And they just invited me to make my Opry debut on July 9th. Wednesday, July 9th will be my Opry debut.
Jonnie W, Grand Ole Opry.
Grand Ole Opry.
It's happening.
Yeah. So that's very exciting.
So I was at Opryland the other day. Well, at Opry Mills.
Opry Mills, yeah. Shopperland, we call it.
Yeah, there you go. And I almost drove down to see if you're on the big sign yet.
Yeah, I wondered how I'll make the big sign. We'll see. I mean, why wouldn't I? But
yeah, you have to be. Everybody goes up there.
Does everybody go on the sign?
I don't know.
It's a big, if you don't know what we're talking about, it's a big, huge digital billboard right outside the Opry on Briley Parkway.
It'll be like Carrie Underwood, then Jonnie W.
Jonnie W.
Yeah,
well, we'll see how it.
Yeah.
I've asked to be first, but.
Interesting story. I don't know if you mind me telling this.
Go ahead. So, I don't know. Well, how will I know until you tell it?
So my daughter used to play volleyball up in Hendersonville, which is north of Nashville.
Yeah.
And so you got to pass by Opry Mills. And I've known for a long time that you should be on the Opry.
Yeah.
I've known this,
well,
Johnny.
I mean, come on. If we all got what we deserve, John, we'd be in a lot of trouble.
I know. You don't. Hey,
it's not about
this
deserve.
Is me and my buddy. I can talk about my buddies. So
okay,
this is dumb. You're a Nashville guy. You're hilarious. You're talented.
You're a dumb Nashville guy.
A dumb Nashville guy. And so when we drive by, when Sadie was probably, 11 or 12, I'd be like, hey, every time we come by, we're going to say a little prayer that Uncle Johnny gets to be on the Grand Opry.
I never knew you did that.
Yeah. So every time I pass by there, I'd be like, Jesus, I say it out loud. Because I wanted her to know someday God's going to answer this prayer and she'll know we asked for it. And so he did. And
that's very meaningful to me.
Yeah.
How old is Sadie now?
She's 17.
So she
turned 17 next month.
You're saying that this took 6 years.
Johnny, sometimes you just got to look. There might be a little dust on the
Opryland side.
Yeah.
There probably is, actually.
That thing's probably filthy.
It's really cool. And I have to say this. I'm excited for you to do that. But everything else that's happening at Opryland besides the hotel and the Grand Ole Opry, I'm not excited about. The mall is just the mall to me. But I was a kid that grew up at Opryland USA, where it was a theme park.
Right.
And I think if they would have kept it, because Dollywood's just taken off. Imagine what Opryland would be today. And
well, that's one of the things that Nate wants to bring back.
Really?
Oh, you haven't heard this?
No.
Nate's like serious about it.
Come on.
He wants Nateland to be a thing. He wants it to have like rides and a studio where they shoot like film projects, and he wants it to be like Universal Studios, but Nateland.
Wow.
He's like serious about it. I mean, who knows how many years down the road, but like he is. He's announced it on.
Did he work
places.
at Opryland?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's
a teenager.
Yeah.
He used to sweep the stairs, and he always says like, and I'll probably go back to that.
Yeah.
Like he always says that when he does, because he did a show. He did his Christmas taping for his big Christmas show at the Opry.
Man, so. I don't know. Nashville could really use.
Well, no, I agree. And I think he sees it too, and
we need a Major League Baseball team, which former Governor Haslam was talking about the other day. He thinks it'll happen. And
there's talk of a WNBA team.
He's working on the WNBA team.
Right, which makes total sense. Pat Summitt, the history of Tennessee basketball.
Yeah, we need...
Right.
What about an NBA team?
I could see it. They're talking about expansion for NBA as well, but I think Vegas will get the first one.
Yeah.
Now, all these leagues are in bed with gambling so bad now, it's getting a little bit out of hand. Sports has just become like, how are you even enjoying sports if you don't have money on the game? Like, I mean, kids are getting, it's really it's creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm one of those, like, I'm an all things in moderation kind of a guy, but I do think, like, man, some of this stuff, I don't have, like, a prohibition mindset about most things, but it's like, gambling, it just feels like, it's so insidious now.
Yeah.
And it's dangerous.
The only thing I'll do sometimes when we're on the road, we're traveling a lot right now for volleyball, a lot of college camps and stuff. And some states will let you buy a lottery ticket with your credit card.
Whoa.
And so if I'm in a gas station filling up sometimes...
And you know exactly which states these are because you try it in every state.
I think Illinois was one.
Oh, boy, John.
So it's like, hey, I've grabbed it.
I think it's great that you're being open right now. And
I just got one ticket. I didn't win anything. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Actually, I think I won $2 or something.
If you won the lottery...
Yeah.
Let me ask this. If you won the lottery, first of all, are you one of these people that would keep it quiet?
I would try to.
Would you tell me?
Yeah.
You would tell me?
What do you mean would I tell you?
No, I'm just saying like...
When I pulled up to lunch in a gold Cadillac, you'd know.
That's what I was going to say. Something. There would be signs.
Actually, I might be the kind of guy that just fixed up my old T100 really nice, you know?
You want to be you're a Sam Walton kind of guy, drive the same truck?
I don't know. I actually think about it too much, probably.
I think about if you...
Yeah, like what I would
a windfall?
do. Yeah. Like a lot of me would want to go... Like I had this dream. Okay, this sounds like a,
this is why John plays the lottery.
No, it's not. I have so much selfishness. But, are there any altruistic parts of it?
Yeah.
I would love to go to Compassion International and like have like $200 million or whatever and be like, I want to know how much it costs to sponsor every kid you have not sponsored.
Yeah.
And then work to kind of try to build people who don't necessarily do the financial side of the sponsorship, but will do the letter writing side and the connectivity side to the kids that we find sponsors for. I think that'd be amazing. I think it'd be cool to go outfit another Mercy ship that does the surgeries, in Africa off the coast.
Yeah.
But yes, also...
And then arrive at the Mercy ship in your gold Cadillac.
That's right. Now fly in.
I'm flying. I write a big check. Everybody praises me. Charity.
I don't know. Well, now, I've had actually, I don't have any blessing. I don't have the money. I haven't done it.
Yeah.
Well,
you got to keep playing that lottery.
I wonder, what I always wonder? And this is a great question for you.
Okay.
Would you still just do stand-up?
Yes.
Would I still write?
Yeah, I didn't get into this for money.
Right.
And so, I think... I don't know. There's just something it does. There's something it does for me. It just feels like I found a purpose.
Yeah.
And so I think if I laid that down, it would be almost like laying down my purpose.
But I always find it weird, would I still negotiate contracts and take payment?
Yeah, I probably would just do the things that I want to do. It would, and I already do have I'm successful enough at this now, or busy enough now, that I already have started weeding out people I don't want to work with.
Wow,
So, like,
this makes this whole thing awkward.
It makes the podcast awkward because this is the last one.
This is it. Yeah.
No, but it's like if you get I used to get a call and it'd be like, Church X or Organization X, and then you go, all right, when's the date and what's the budget? Now I go to their website.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do we align?
Mm-hmm.
Do I want to be involved with this? And so it's just, you ask different questions when you don't need them as much as they need you. And so that's a good place to be.
Yeah.
So your point, if you get to the point where you don't need the money anymore, would you still do stand up? Like, yeah, I mean, you just would do it differently.
Yeah.
I'd probably do a lot of more charity work. I would do a lot more fundraisers for causes I believe in.
You'd also not have to fly commercial.
That would be pretty cool.
Because you fly to a lot of just middle of nowhere places. Yeah. You could just go to a regional airport and not have to worry about all these connections.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I gotta start playing the lottery. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, let's go to Illinois. So, not a sponsor. We should get the lottery to sponsor us. That would be great. Has anyone tried?
Well, I don't know if the lottery's sponsoring us.
Yeah. I don't know if we bring... Hey, Johnny, you know what?
Oh, okay.
I think this kind of plays into the theme today.
That's a heck of a segue.
Yeah. In fact, I want to say one more thing.
Okay.
You were talking earlier about, who we become as we continue to grow forward. Like I told you at lunch, I'm having trouble parking straight now.
That is, and I shared with you that you get out of the car, you're like, that looked good. You get out, you're so cattywampus. And I'm still in the lines, but it's not.
I was a perfect
not
parker.
What I thought.
I'm a CDL driver.
Yeah.
I can park buses straight.
Well,
and
have you tried to park a bus?
I don't know.
Buddy, I'm not putting you in a bus right now. After seeing your Acura in the parking lot of Longhorn,
I thought that was straight. Whew. Yeah.
So that makes me think, like, are we driving straight down the road? Are we hitting mailboxes and don't know it? Our families can't tell us?
I keep thinking that they're just rumble strips.
We're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. So that should play in today's quote of the week. It's my segment we call They Talked About That. Actually, I have two quotes.
That's cheating.
I know. But they kind of go together.
Okay.
Carl Jung said...
With a J.
With a J.
It's a soft J.
The first half of life is devoted to forming a healthy ego. The second half is going inward and letting go of it.
Oh, I never heard that.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That kind of goes along with what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Where you gotta, the whole thing about being a man is like, I don't need anything. I can't, and you don't want to admit flaws. And then as you get older, you're like, you know what? I got a lot of flaws.
It's funny. I was talking to someone today about my daughter, and I was like, so much of what I'm trying to help foster in her is a belief that she can, right?
Sure.
So
self-talk, coaching,
I want you to know that, don't listen to the lies we all hear on the inside,
right.
Believe that you can, that God has made you to do something, and that whatever those things...
Believe you can fly, believe you can touch the sky.
That's
Think
right.
about it every night and day.
But, because I think that it has its limits, but I think that's his point. Like, then you reach a point where you spend all that time finally believing that you can, and now you have to start thinking about what I should do, not what I can do.
Or just limitations.
Yeah, what are my limitations? How do I live within them? Who am I becoming, not just what am I doing?
And being okay with those limitations.
Yeah.
And not trying to overcompensate for those limitations, which is what a lot of people do.
Go back to the previous conversation about being the harmony singer. Like, why would I try to not be, what I'm saying? I don't need to be that lead guy on those kinds of things. But there was a day and time when you first met me that I only knew how to be the lead guy, even if I wasn't good at something.
Yeah, but ambition's okay. I just think, like you said, it's a youthful naivete.
There's a season for it. You need to have a season of it, right? I think that we, as much as I like to say that, or the sociologists and psychologists say, you're not just one thing, right? So I repeat that a lot. I think also your life in its seasons is not just one thing. And you're not, like, there should be times of life when you're more confident than you are at others. If you think it odd that you're not the same confidence level or the same level of achievement, then you'll think something's wrong when probably that's just what the season of life calls for or where you are. But we always think, right, success, what we see in American society or Western society is that success and achievement is a graph always going up. Right. And anybody who's on the downward side is like, oh, that's failure. That's whatever. Instead of seeing it like, actually, You could be, as the world's standards, not doing all the quote unquote achievement things you were doing, and yet be a more full, whole, mature person doing exactly what you're supposed to do, because you no longer need those things, or you're allowing the knowledge of your limitations to fuel what you're doing now, instead of only trying to overcome those limitations, right?
Yeah.
So,
well, and your ego is like, that was a great quote. My buddy Rick Roberts did one of the Speakers Bureau conferences, and one of the speakers there, who basically they're like TED Talk level speakers, some of these guys that give presentations, and one of them said, and I've heard this more than once, but he said, your ego is not your amigo.
Nice.
And I think that sums up, like, it's like, it's okay to have an ego, but understand that, like, there's a level of it that's going to destroy you if you let it, like, control. If you let it drive all the time and you're making decisions based on, like, how you think you're being perceived, or I can't be railroaded here because of what, you're going to destroy yourself. It's not your friend. It's not being your friend.
Well, yeah, your shadow self or your prideful self, I like to think of it as like, is a drunken version of yourself emotionally. Yeah. And you don't let the drunk version of yourself drive, right? You don't let the drunk version of yourself make decisions. It's not that you don't have that part, but you have to. The Bible talks about being sober-minded for a reason, right? So to be in the right humble place is where, it doesn't mean you should feel bad that you have the other. So it's Romans 7, right? That you have this body of death and these other things that you're constantly fighting against. But who's going to drive? Who's going to lead? Mm-hmm. Who's going to make decisions when it comes down to it? And if they do get behind the wheel for a second, how do you make that right? So, but this second part of the quote is Fyodor Dostoevsky.
Nice.
Okay. Said, the second half of a man's life is made up of nothing but the habits he has acquired during the first half.
Okay. That's troubling to me.
Yeah. So
I'm in a lot of trouble.
He's kind of taking it and saying, like, well, but habits aren't, we hear habits, I think, and only think of disciplines, right?
Yeah.
But I think a habit of mercy.
Right.
How do I see other people?
Okay.
We talked in church lately about, do justly, love mercy. Don't just like endure mercy. Don't just like, I guess I got to show mercy. Like, if you're following in the way that pleases God, like, you love the idea that people get mercy. Like, that's what you want. Mm-hmm. I mean, Jesus is willing to die that people get mercy. And we barely tolerate the idea. We have to be talked into it. Mm-hmm. And so do I have a habit, right, of thinking that way? And we talk a lot in our house about neural pathways and, all the studies that are out about what your brain is doing by the habits of thought, the habits of speech, the habit of action that you're bringing to it. It's literally creating pathways, and you don't realize that that's going to be the way that you go to first. That'll be the schemata now that you re-enter and begin from. Yeah. And so, I don't know. I want to not just think of it in terms of achievement or creativity, but more in terms of, do I think in a way? Like, I think I have a habit of thinking that I feel condemned, right, in my spiritual walk. That's a habit I've been working a long time, but I will always, that old pathway exists, and I go back to it very instinctively and very unconsciously. I don't know that I'm there until I'm there, right? Yeah. And so I think that idea of, you're building something now for who you're going to be, and it may just be by the way that you're thinking. That's a really, really important thing. We talked about self-talk the other day, right? Right. How you're willing to speak to yourself the truth that parts of yourself may not be believing in that moment. So, Carl Jung and Fyodor Dostoevsky.
Together at last.
Yes.
John, let's do my segments. Let's start with Johnny's old jokes. We call it Joke About That. A couple of teacher jokes. I like these old ones. The ones where the professor does this and the students do that, and then et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. It's kind of an interesting schematic for a joke. One day, John, a professor was giving a big test to his students. He handed out all of the tests, went back to his desk to wait. Once the test was over, the students handed their tests back in. The professor noticed that one of the students had attached a $100 bill to his test with a note saying, quote, $1 per point. The next class, the professor handed the test back out. The student got his test back and $64 change. Okay. Yeah. He made a 36.
Yeah, I got you.
So he took the... I think it's great the professor took the money.
That's good.
John, 4 students, I've heard this one before, so I remember this one, but 4 students decide to go skiing for the weekend and are having such a good time they decide to blow off the calculus exam that they have scheduled for Monday morning in order to get some final runs in before they head back to school. They decide to tell the prof that they got a flat tire and therefore deserve to take the exam at a rescheduled time. Hearing the story, said professor agrees that it really was just bad luck, and of course they can take the exam later. The students go home and study like mad all night. At the appointed time, the professor greets them and places them in 2 separate rooms to take the exam. A few questions on the first page are worth a minor 10% of the overall grade and are quite easy. Each student grows progressively confident as they take the test. When they turn to the second page, there's just 1 question left. There are 3 questions on the page worth 90% of the exam. Which tire was it? How was it fixed? Where did this happen?
Oh, wow.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
It reminded me, I had a couple of teachers in middle school who, like 7th grade, 8th grade, I was in a private Christian school for one of them. I only did that for a few years of my upbringing because it got so progressively expensive and we were not rich. We were not a rich family. Like my mom would wear $8 dresses so that she could afford to send us to this school. I think she was terrified of the idea of like, there wasn't school shootings yet, but there was just stuff that she just thought, oh, if I can send my kids to a private school, let's do it. So this was one of those years. In 7th and 8th grade, I was there, and I had a couple of teachers for homeroom that were like funny. I remember them being funny still. And I don't know if did you ever have a teacher that would crack jokes and be funny? Yeah. It's kind of a weird thing when you have an authority figure who's like the cool, a little bit cool. Like they'll come down on you if it's bad. Yeah. But they'll also come in and they'll crack a joke. I think about it still. I think what an interesting catalyst for learning, and that kind of paved the way. But anyway, one of them was Mr. Crosby. Mr. Crosby, my 8th grade teacher, told this joke to me as an 8th grade kid, and I still remember it. I'm going to see if I can tell it from memory. Wow. It's really gross, by the way. Okay. Which 8th graders love. Oh, they freaked out. Come on. So there's this man. He's in the hospital for months, and he's afflicted with this whatever disease that causes these pustules on his body. I've heard this. You told me this joke when we first met. And he develops this habit over the months of recovery of picking the scabs, putting them in one jar, and squeezing the pus into another jar. And he becomes like obsessed with like keeping them. So he has this closet in his room, his hospital room, that he just keeps all these jars in. Well, one day an orderly's cleaning up. Laura, stop listening. And this orderly gets trapped in the closet, locked in, for a whole weekend before they notice what's going on. Finally, the orderly gets rescued. The news is there. And they say, how did you survive? And the orderly looks into the camera and says, well, I got to tell you, if it hadn't been for those potato chips and mayonnaise, I never would have made it. Jeez, I can't. And I remember as an 8th grade kid thinking like, that is the funniest. It still sticks out in my head. Like, it's so gross. And, it's so nasty. It's a nasty joke. I can't. And if you're listening to the show and eating by chance potato chips and mayonnaise, which, I mean, double check. Why? You would call it there probably is a restaurant in Nashville that serves potato chips and mayonnaise, but they call it like an aioli. It's a garlic aioli. Yeah. These are our house-made chips and garlic aioli. If you're doing that right now, you're not having a great time. I wonder if this joke's going to be held through the final version of this episode, or if we're going to cut it. You think? I don't know. It's so gross. It is gross, but I'm just... Guys, I apologize. It's a shout-out to Mr. Crosby. It's not even my joke. It's just I would like to... A gross 8th grader loved it, and now here I am, a 50-year-old Did you ever tell in youth group? Probably. Oh, yeah. Oh, I probably did. And it probably got and the guys all laugh, and the girls all are... And you were the cool teacher. Well, that's the whole idea. You're Mr. Crosby. And guys... There's a Mr. Crosby inside of all of us. There's a hero. There's a hero. Okay, John, let's move on. Let's do This Week in History. We call it Talk About Then. I want to kind of shift this segment as we get deeper into it, because there's so many things that don't necessarily fall on this week, but they're weird history things that I want. So I think I want to have to call this weird history. Talk about then still, but weird history. But these actually did. A couple of these did fall on this week. Okay. One of them, John, was this week, 1993. A big blockbuster movie opened in the U.S. Do you remember 93? I do remember 93. You can kind of guess what it was. Let me just say that it was directed by Steven Spielberg. This is 93? 93. E.T.? No, that was 80s. Oh, that's 93 was Jurassic Park, John. Oh. It opened in the U.S. It would become the highest grossing film ever up to that time. It won Oscars for Best Sound Editing, Best Sound Mixing, and Best Visual Effects. directed by Steven Spielberg, at a cost of $56 million. I don't even think you could.
Wow.
Craft services to be $56
We can't
million.
make this podcast for that little.
We got.
Jeez.
Do you like Jurassic? They keep trying to keep it alive. Now they have
like
another
the first
coming
one.
out. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It holds up pretty well.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's good storytelling.
Yeah.
Now it's just like now they got to add the new CGI, and it's more about that. That's kind of the star of the show now. But I thought it was honestly for a movie about dinosaurs, that movie's really character driven more than you would think, and still holds up. John, this week, 1992. Okay. We're very 90s heavy.
Yeah.
This week was the Sears auto repair scandal. I don't know if you remember this. I was just out of high school.
No.
Graduated in 92, so I wasn't privy to this. But we used to take my car to Sears every now and again to get repaired. When we could afford car repair. Again, we were pretty broke, and I drove a lot of hoopty cars. We worked on our own cars, pretty much, if we fixed them at all. Put some black tape over those check engine lights. John, California seeks to revoke Sears' automobile repair license after undercover investigators disclosed, quote, systematic looting of the public.
What?
They were accused of recommending unnecessary repairs to consumers after Sears had changed the compensation plan for its technicians to a model that included commissions. So these repair techs are now like, hey, if you recommend a brake job, you get a cut. So they're like, guess what? You need brakes, John.
Interesting.
Yeah. And this is what most people our age now suspect that most shops are doing anyway. Yeah. But they got caught doing it. Like Jiffy Lube went through a similar thing where they weren't changing the filters and they're like charging you for oil changing. They would mark the filter with like a Sharpie to show that it was this. They'd go back in it. Would you have a look under that? And they would show them that. Yeah. So Sears was really doing it though. Here's the thing though. They settled the suit in September of that year by agreeing to give coupons worth $50 for Sears merchandise or services to thousands of customers. So they got off basically scot-free. Here's a coupon. Jeez. Get out of here.
A coupon.
But Sears has now gone under.
$50 back then. Was not much different than today.
No, it's not going to undo what they did, which is basically tell you needed costly vehicle repairs you didn't need. No. Are you suspicious of mechanics, John? You were telling me today you had yet more mechanic work done on your car. Do you have like a healthy suspicion or an unhealthy suspicion?
I'm not suspicious of them doing, devious,
routine,
diabolical things, but I'm suspicious of them missing something that they should have caught.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a whole other fear you've unlocked for me.
Yeah, like, are you? It's not a fear. It's just I know this with my daughter's car that's old, and I'm continually, basically just. Apparently remodeling every inch of it.
It's a money pit.
And it's like, I take it to the next person. They're like, how did that last person miss this? And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then the next person, how did they miss this? And
these are very excited mechanics.
Sign right here. Yeah, so.
I'm sorry, John.
It's okay. No, it'll be fine.
But I do feel like, I've been done over by a mechanic or two where you kind of, like I had a mechanic at, I won't say the name, but it rhymes with, tire discounters. They told me one time that I needed all new tires, all new cams and shocks. And this was a car that was 2 years old. Like I bought it new. And I said, it's not like I'm out mudding in my Hyundai Ioniq. Yeah. What's going on? But I was going to do it. I was like, well, and they go, we can't get them in right now, but we have to order them. But the tires definitely, and it's out of alignment and your cams and shocks are gone. Your struts and cams are gone. I go, what in the world? I took it to another place, another audit, just to get a second opinion. And I go, they said this and this. And they go, no, I mean, your tires are out of alignment. And so you do need new tires. They go, but we'll realign it. They go, there's no leakage around any of this other stuff. There's no, your shocks and struts are fine. And so I just was like, wow. It just was like, what in the world? Yeah. What was that all about? So that's a little bit, And then your inner old guy goes, aha!
Yeah. How many other people have, If they were smart, they'd all be in cahoots with each other.
Yeah, well, come on.
Like, look, you can go get a second opinion, and they give you a card to go to the other place, and they come back.
That's what there was a comedian that had a bit about doctors write in that chicken scratch thing, and like, how does the pharmacist even read it? And it's because it says the same thing. It just says, "I got my money, now you get yours." That's what every chicken scratch on a prescription pad says. Okay, John, let's do some weird history before we go today, because I found this one. It's not this week necessarily, but maybe it was. We don't know what week it was. But did you know that in 1518, a dancing plague in Strasbourg caused people to dance uncontrollably for days? Have you heard of this?
No.
1518. This wasn't a Pentecostal thing either, which is my go-to. It started when a woman named Frau Trophea began dancing uncontrollably. Within days, dozens of others joined her, and the phenomenon grew to involve hundreds of people. The dancers, it's quoting, seemed unable to stop, with some collapsing or even dying from exhaustion, strokes, or heart attacks. Why did they do this, you ask? Some conjecture it was cause of mass hysteria, which there's been studies of this now where it's like, once you have a group doing something, you can start developing like symptoms or tics. There's a podcast I was listening to about mass hysteria recently, and it was a weird like health outbreak in some rural area of the country where students just started developing these tics, and they thought it was like Tourette, like onset Tourette's, but it wasn't. There was another thing wrong with them, and it spread through this whole community, and they ended up chalking it up to mass hysteria. Well, that's what they think this was. While another theory, John, suggested that the dancers may have ingested bread contaminated with ergot. I think it's ergot, a toxic fungus. Ergot contains chemicals similar to LSD.
Interesting.
So we don't really know, and I mean it's 1518, so I don't know how you do a weird, you can't do a weird forensic on it, but this is what most people think or historians think. But there was a dancing plague.
Maybe it was less dance and more just like uncontrollable movement that they called dancing over time. I don't know. Although if you saw me dance, that's what it would look like. Yeah,
it would be like John's got that plague.
Yeah.
He's patient zero of a horrifying plague.
He's got the ergot.
That's right. Not to be confused with an EGOT, which
right.
is
or Epcot. It's a total.
Well, EGOT, you know what an EGOT is, right?
It's the Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony.
Which you're on your way.
By the way, did you?
What if EGOT was? What if those for Opry? Because I could be a quarter of the way there.
Oh, come on!
I'm a quarter of the way to an EGOT.
We got some friends with Emmys. Do we have any friends with Grammys?
That doesn't help me.
If you all come together, you can make one big.
It's like Voltron.
Yeah. Did you? I did not watch the Tonys, but they had the 10th anniversary. Hamilton, the original cast came back and did like a whole mashup.
Okay.
Live. It was unbelievable. We should go watch it.
The EGOT. I think somebody coined that, and they didn't win the EGOT. They said, I'm going to win the thing. And then they, who was it? Oh, it was Philip Michael Thomas, who was Tubbs on, because I read this the other day, Miami Vice. So the other partner that wasn't Crockett, Tubbs, Philip Michael Thomas, that actor, said famously in the late 80s, like, my goal in my career is to win what I call the EGOT. And he explained on different talk shows, that's the Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony. And as of now, he has won 0.
Of any of them?
Of any of them.
Wow.
But the phrase EGOT has lived on. Isn't that fascinating?
I wouldn't say that until I'd won at least one.
That's one of those dying to your ego things. Somebody needed to go back and tell him, hey,
you know what?
Your EGOT is not your amigot. Is what I was
about to say. You're only one letter off from ego and EGOT. Come on, really guys.
Is. John, finally, another crazy, weird fact for talk about then that we'll close on. Ketchup was originally sold as a medicine in the 19th century. Did you know this? Because we know Coca-Cola had cocaine in it or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was originally like some cure for the common cold. And then they were like, add some fizz to it and see what happens. And now it's all I drink. But in the 1830s, ketchup was sold as a medicine that could cure indigestion, diarrhea, and even jaundice. I don't know any interesting ketchup for jaundice. While the medical claims were later debunked. This is back when people debunked medical claims. Now we just go, well, look, it's my version of the facts and your version of the facts. Let's keep moving. But medical claims were later debunked. The condiment caught on, and this person added the, man, I wish I lived in a time when a bunch of ketchup on fries was considered health food. That's what this little editorializing at the bottom said. What's your favorite, because we talked about potato chips and mayonnaise, what is your favorite condiment, John? Are you a ketchup man?
I like
do you feel
ketchup.
like John Christ did a video, our friend John Christ did a video the other day where he basically was positing that ketchup is a white trash condiment. Like it's a garbage condiment that like garbage people eat. And it's a sauce that's like, basically if you're a lower class person, ketchup is your favorite. You eat ketchup on everything.
I'm very offended by that, and I'll tell you why.
Well, a lot of people were. And then he admitted to me in private message that he loves ketchup too. He was just trying to stir it up a little bit. Shake up the ketchup, as it were.
I had this ongoing sort of debate with my wife who likes like steak sauce. Like Heinz 57 A1. but she would look down on me if I put ketchup on a steak.
Yeah. You're supposed to eat steak with nothing, right?
Well, I don't want usually anything with steak.
Yeah.
I have had
if
ketchup.
It's not good enough by itself.
I've had a ketchup with steak early in our marriage, I think, and that apparently has followed me ever since. And I'm like...
Oh, she still remembers like when you were a young person?
My father-in-law said something about the other day because I had a steak.
Yes, John wants some...
You didn't have your ketchup. Well, listen,
you want to get chicken fingers, buddy?
And I was like, you know that these are made by the same, like Heinz 57 and Heinz ketchup. They're both just sauces made by Heinz. And like, to me, I back away and say, it's all just a different tasting condiment.
It's just let people like what they like.
The point is, though, one can't be worse than the other. Right. That is a cultural thing, not a...
I think you see people that you don't like putting ketchup on a steak, and now you attribute it to that people group. You go, well, these people that I... And your father-in-law doesn't like you. So when he saw that,
he was like, oh no. Now, my tastes have grown over time. My parking has gotten worse, but my tastes have gotten better.
And more, well, it just means that you're eating more expensive food.
Yeah, well, yes. And I have a wife who, I'm telling you, we got a smoker.
Yeah.
Not a thing that you smoke meat, like someone on the back porch just smoking.
Interesting.
Yeah. No, but our grill fell apart. Like you could look through and see daylight, and so it was like rusted through. So we got a grill that has a smoker built on. And dude, she made the best chicken I've ever tasted in my life the other night. It's like just smoked chicken, and then of course she treats it.
And then you slather it with...
No, I didn't.
Heinz ketchup.
I don't. Again, I don't do that anymore.
Don't you hate when you go to somebody's house, they don't have Heinz? They're like, we have Hunt's. And you're like, get out of here with your Hunt's.
We got Aldi version or whatever. Actually, I don't care. It doesn't bother me.
You don't think... I don't like restaurants with their own house ketchups. Like, we figured it out. We got ketchup. We got ketchup on lock.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay. Really? I'm okay with...
This one has Tabasco in it.
Like, I love it when the restaurant has their own house-made ranch. That's always good.
Well, yeah, Curry's a big... She does try out the ranches. She's all about...
By the way, ranches. I may have said this before, but you know ranch, where it came from.
This is the Food That Built America podcast or documentary, again? Not a sponsor?
Interestingly enough, you would think that ranch was like its own big flavor, and it was a very much a regional thing. It wasn't like a national thing like it is today. It was the Doritos people looking for another flavor that was less spicy, and they came up with a thing they called Cool Ranch. Used this very lesser known kind of flavor combination, and that's how like ranch dressing and all the stuff
Cool
took
Ranch
off.
Came before
ranch. Cool Ranch came before ranch.
Wild.
Yeah, that's the craziest thing I ever heard.
Did not know that.
You see, that's guys, Food That Built America.
So that weird powder they sprinkle on their chips came before the creamy dressing.
I'm sure there was someone out there who had ranch dressing, but it wasn't like a national thing. But that flavor combo then took off because of that.
How do you like that? So, see, you learned something today.
Yeah.
We didn't know.
It's an educational podcast, and we always say it.
I don't know.
Hey, speaking of educational, I have a little announcement, too.
Oh.
It's not the Grand Ole Opry.
Well, how could it be?
But I've signed a book deal with the University of Tennessee Press. I've been talking about it for like 3 years. It was a long process.
Well, let me just say that for the last 2 or 3 years, every time I drive by the University of Tennessee Press,
I say a little prayer.
I say a little prayer for you.
But I have a book I'm writing called Finding Old Glory, and it's a historical biography that deals with Civil War Nashville and other things. It's pretty cool. So,
very cool.
It'll take a while to come out.
I know this has been a passion project for a long time.
It has, and it's with my alma mater, which is pretty cool. So
Plus, where you went to school.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, like I'm meeting with archaeologists and all kind. I'm going to be in the archives a lot. So it's kind of a cool historical process. But there will be over the next year.
Are you getting ready to say that you're getting ready to go into a hole and never emerge, and the podcast is going to be sunsetted?
I need to get this done. But I'll give options for podcast listeners to maybe do some pre-ordering of this and help us build a little momentum for that. So I mean, it's a scholarly book, so it's not like it's supposed to be some huge...
we see the beads on the chair. We know you're a scholar.
You guys know.
We know
I even bought some patches for my elbows. Like it's just...
Not for the clothing, just to go on
just on my elbows.
On your elbow.
Yeah, it's
those are way more
lesser known things. So.
Yeah. That's very exciting.
No, thanks.
I'm very proud of you.
No, I appreciate that.
I don't care what they say.
I know.
You're going to make it.
This guy,
It's going to be great.
Yeah. Guys, you should check out Jonnie W, though, at JONNIEW.com, not only just for the Opry show, many other shows.
So many tour dates going on the calendar. I am going to be in beautiful Goshen, Indiana, July 11th and 12th, the same week of the Opry. So that Friday, Saturday, Goshen, Indiana, at the Funny Farm, PHARM, like a pharmacy. Funny Farm. See what I'm saying?
See what they did?
Laughter's like a medicine. Funny Farm Comedy Club, July 11th and 12th. Those tickets are on sale now. I've got my zany show, Jonnie W and Friends, at the Lab, July 22nd.
Yeah.
So check those out.
Yeah.
If you want to come see a show, those would be fun to attend. And there's so many other dates. I'm probably coming to your town. I still have some tour dates with Nate Bargatze that I'm as opener, and I just did a weekend with him. Those are so fun. And if you get a chance to go see Nate, go see this new hour. It's so funny. I can't believe how prolific he is. I told another comedian friend yesterday, I said, there was a time when Tiger Woods was just on fire and winning every other major.
Yeah.
And he had this one putt. It's a very famous putt where he's like 100 feet from the hole. And he has this putt where it just snakes this way, this way and that. It curves like 8 ways and then drops in the hole. And then we all look at the TV and go, he has made a deal with the devil at this point.
Yeah.
Something's wrong. He should not have made that. And when I see Nate still making great things, you just go, how has he made like 4 hours in a row of like some of the best? Like, I don't know what's going on with Nate, but he's just a superhero in the comedy world. Like, we're all in awe of his talent right now. So all that to say, go see Nate's Hour. And on some of those shows, you might see a little Uncle Johnny do a few minutes up front.
Seriously.
Yeah.
You'll be there.
Please come say hello. But yeah, so that's been super fun. And shout out to Nate for letting me tag along this past weekend. That was a blast.
Yeah. Well, man, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I got to go to the last, when you were on tour with him, I got to go see that show. Maybe I'll come get to see one. Yeah. I'll be at the Opry.
Oh, very nice. Okay.
Yeah. My wife and I will be there. And maybe Sadie, but.
If she.
Yeah.
It's a matter of whether or not she decides to. Yeah.
Well, she has to skip youth group to do it. And you're always asking us to choose between you and God, and I'm sick of it. Because
as for me and my house,
will
Sadie's
not go to the Opry.
Stay back.
Hey guys, thanks for the time you gave us today. It was a lot of fun. Let's do it again next week here on
Talk About That.